What if I told you someone drew Antarctica before it was even discovered, and they somehow knew what it looked like under the ice? Let's talk about ancient maps. You know, those old parchment scrolls with scribbly coastlines, sea monsters, and compass roses that look like they were drawn by a caffeinated pirate. Most of the time, ancient maps were hilariously wrong. Continents were misshapen, oceans were squished, and sometimes Australia just didn't exist. But every once in a while, a map shows up that's so accurate, so weirdly advanced, that scientists are like, wait, how did they know that? Let's start with the Piri Reis map. This thing was drawn in 1513 by an Ottoman admiral named Surprise, Piri Reis. Now, this guy didn't just doodle what he saw from his ship window. He claimed to base his map on much older sources, some of which he said dated back to Alexander the Great. And the weirdest part? His map includes Antarctica. Yeah, Antarctica, but not the icy, frozen wasteland we know today. It shows Antarctica without ice, with an outline that matches what we now know lies under the glaciers. A detail modern scientists only confirmed in the 20th century using satellites and ground-penetrating radar. How would someone in 1513, centuries before satellite imaging or even telescopes, know what Antarctica looked like without ice? Did someone go there thousands of years ago? Did ancient civilizations have access to advanced technology? Or was Piri Reis just a really lucky guesser? Scientists still debate it. Some say it's coincidence. Others say it's aliens because, of course, it's always aliens. Then there's the Mahabharata, a Sanskrit epic that, among other things, contains references to a circular map of the Earth, not flat, and even mentions something that sounds suspiciously like aerial views of cities. And this was written over 2,000 years ago. Were they just using poetic language? Or did ancient people know more than we think? And let's not forget the Zeno map. Made in 1558, this beauty shows parts of Greenland and northern Canada, regions that weren't fully explored by Europeans until hundreds of years later. The map has islands and coastlines that match up with modern satellite data, even though no one at the time had any reason to know those places even existed. Historians argue about whether the Zeno brothers, the supposed creators, really sailed those routes, or whether they copied from some mysterious older map that's long lost. Now, we can't talk about mystery maps without mentioning the Vinland map. It appeared in the 20th century, claiming to show parts of North America drawn by Norse explorers around the year 1000, way before Columbus. Some people say it's a hoax. Others insist it proves that Vikings not only reached North America, but mapped it. And of course, every historian in the room started dramatically arguing like it was a medieval soap opera. Your map is forged. Nay, 'tis real. To the lab. Science keeps bouncing between yes, it's real and nah, fake, depending on who's testing the ink, which makes it the most academically controversial piece of paper in history. Forget national treasures. Yeah, this is like a cartographic murder mystery. Oh, and have you ever heard of the Buache Map? It was made in the 1700s, and guess what? It also shows Antarctica without ice. Again. But this time with detailed inland features like mountain ranges and river systems, all under the ice. The mapmaker Philippe Buache claimed he got his data from ancient Egyptian sources. Yeah, Egyptians. The guys with pyramids may have known what was under the South Pole thousands of years ago. Which raises two questions. How? And seriously, how? At this point, you're probably thinking, okay, cool, but maybe they just got lucky. Maybe they were using some kind of ancient hearsay or sailor rumors or hyper-accurate intuition. That's what mainstream historians often argue. But then you see these maps line up almost perfectly with modern coastlines, with data we only recently confirmed using advanced tech, and it gets real spooky real fast. Some theorists go full conspiracy mode and say these maps are the last fragments of a lost global civilization, something like Atlantis. But instead of magic crystals and talking fish, it was a seafaring society that mapped the world, then vanished without a trace. Others think these are remnants of prehistoric contact between continents, like if ancient South Americans and Africans were trading maps instead of coconuts. And of course, you've got your usual wildcard suspects: aliens, time travelers, or ancient submarines. Because why not? If you're already showing Antarctica without ice, a time traveling alien with a waterproof iPad doesn't seem that far off. At the end of the day, these ancient maps are real. You can go look at them in museums or scanned online. And no matter what explanation you choose, lost civilizations, forgotten knowledge, or lucky artistic guesswork, one thing's for sure: they shouldn't exist. Not with that level of detail. Not with information that we only confirmed hundreds or even thousands of years later. So maybe next time you see an old dusty map with a dragon doodled in the corner, don't laugh. That dragon might just be guarding secrets we still haven't figured out. And who knows, maybe someday someone will dig up your sketch of the world and say, this guy was clearly visited by aliens. Which honestly would be kind of cool. That's it for now. If you enjoyed this sketchy journey through ancient mysteries, hit that subscribe button for more weird, wild, and wonderfully drawn facts. Only on Sketchy Facts.